everybody, welcome to this introduction to 3D modeling. Let's get started.
Hi everyone, welcome to this second video in a series of videos introducing Blender from version 2.9. In the last video we looked at how to create a spoon, and we were basing our idea on the spoon tutorial created by Ian Scott 888. Again, a reminder, the reason why I'm remaking this video is because I'm using a different version of Blender. At the end of the last video tutorial, we ended up creating a pretty funky looking spoon, and we learned a bunch of shortcuts which we will review again in this tutorial. Okay, so today we're going to deal with the problem of symmetry. So let's go to File, New, General. We don't need to save that. So again, we start, I'm in perspective view. I've got an object here, which is a cube, and let's just go to top. I've now jumped to orthographic view. I do want to be in orthographic view, so that's good. I can zoom in, I can shift and click the wheel to pan. I can orbit just by dragging the mouse after clicking the wheel. So just a quick review of some things there. Let's go to top view. I'm going to make sure I'm in edit mode, and I'm going to delete all of the vertices of this cube. Goodbye cube. I'm also going to rename the object here where my cube was. I'm just going to call this spoon. And let's get started. Right. So in the last lesson, what we were doing was control and right-clicking the mouse to create an outline of the spoon. The problem was that the eventual shape wasn't symmetrical. So let's look at a cool feature of Blender that will allow you to create a symmetrical outline of an object. What we're going to do is we're going to choose the modifier icon here, and we're going to add a mirror modifier. So let's now attempt to create the outline of a spoon one more time. Control, right click. Ooh, look what happens. Can you see that there's almost like a mirror image of the shape that I am drawing as I design my spoon? Let's just bring it around a bit, and we'll finish somewhere near the green line. Okay. Now if I select all by pressing A on my keyboard, you can see that I'm only selecting half of the object. That's because this is just a mirror, and I have not applied the mirror to the object yet. We'll do that in a moment. What I want to do first is use those tricks that we looked at in the last lesson to box, press B on your keyboard, select, click and drag, and then grab G. Just going to reshape this a little bit, select everything, deselect. Box, grab, move. So I'm just going to, in fact, I don't have to keep pressing B. I just discovered that today. I'm in box mode, so I can just box, grab, move. Select and deselect. Just want to deselect everything. Still in box mode, grab, move. And let's just reshape. Select, deselect, box, grab, move. Select, deselect. Just going to select those two there. Grab, move. Let's just tidy up the outline of my spoon. That's not too bad. Select, deselect, We're still in box mode. G to grab. Just going to move that in. Do you see that the mirror is also changing? So the symmetry is being preserved. So that's brilliant. Do I want to change anything here? I think that looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with the outline of my spoon. So now that I'm happy with the outline, I'm going to see if I can apply. Why can I not apply the mirror? Disabled. This modifier operation is not allowed from edit mode. Oh dear. So let's go into object mode and now see if we can apply the mirror. Yes, we can. It is applied. The mirror modifier is gone. It disappeared. Its work is done. Now let's press A on the keyboard, and you can see that now I can select everything. Okay, so I now have the outline of the spoon. Let's go to edit mode, because I haven't finished yet. Wow, brilliant. Look at all those vertexes that we can play with. And when I press A, I can now select everything. So I'm going to zoom in. You know what I'm going to do, right? That's right. I need to join these two vertexes here to complete the shape. So again, I'm going to just select and deselect. Box, select, right click, make a new edge. Brilliant. What was the shortcut for that? I'm going to do Control Z. What was the shortcut for that? New edge. F. F on the keyboard. Let's do it. F. Brilliant. Now actually I would like another vertex to grab here to bring it up so that my spoon has a point. I need another vertex. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subdivide that line, and do you see I've got a new vertex? I divided that edge into two edges, which gives me a vertex there. So select everything, deselect everything, box, grab, and then let's just give that a little bit of, there we go, brilliant. Okay, let's pan down to the bottom because we've got another one here. So select, deselect, box, F, brilliant. I want to subdivide this edge to give me another vertex, box, grab, G. Let's make it funky. Let's make it go in like that. That's funky. Okay, we're going to make a funky spoon. So let's zoom out and see what we've got. Okay, there's the outline to my spoon. Now, of course, if I select all of that, E to extrude, and then I start extruding, let's do Z on the Z axis. It looks good, but there's no mesh which will allow me to shape the 3D model of the spoon. I need a mesh. I need some faces on the top and the bottom of the spoon so I can model it. So I've extruded too soon, basically. So let's undo that. Let's go back to top view, 7 on my number pad. We will select everything. Let's go to face, fill. Let's fill this shape, this 2D shape with faces. Ooh, really messy. We've got lots of diagonal lines. And if we have all these nasty diagonal lines in this shape, we're not going to be able to do symmetrical meshing and molding. So we want to reduce the amount of these triangle shapes. We want them to be more quadrilateral or square. So triangular to quadrilateral is what we're looking for. So go back into face, tries to quads. Let's try it. Not bad. It's given me lots of horizontal lines. That's what I'm looking for, but I've still got lots of nasty diagonal edges. So let's get rid of those. Let's deselect everything. Zoom in a little bit. Let's go into Edge Select. We've been in Vertex Select all this time, so we can select vertexes. But at the moment, I cannot select an edge. I'm clicking on this edge. I cannot select it. Go to Edge Select. Now we can select edges. So I want to delete all of these diagonal ones. So I've just pressed delete on the keyboard and then select edge. Find all of the diagonal edges, because those are the ones we want to get rid of to clean up our mesh. Now it is destroying the faces on the mesh, but don't panic. We'll figure that out in a moment. We've got a few minutes left in this tutorial to figure out those things, okay? So let's just keep working on this. We're nearly there. Remember, we are in Edge Select mode now, and we're looking for these diagonal edges, and we're just pressing delete on the keyboard and delete the edge. We're nearly there, just a few more here. Brilliant. Yes, I think that's all of them. Now, let's go back to Vertex mode. It would be great if all of these pairs of vertexes were also joined by an edge. That will help us to create a detailed mesh, which will give us more opportunity to model the spoon later. So what I'm going to do is box these pairs of vertexes and F to make the edge. Do you remember that? Select, deselect. We're still in box mode. F. Select, deselect. Box F. Box F. Brilliant. So we're just creating as complex a mesh as we can without it being overly complex. So box and then F to create the edge. Let's just scroll down. We'll move into here. We're still in box mode, so F, select, deselect, F, select, deselect, F, select, deselect, F, select, deselect. We've done it. Brilliant. We've got a pretty reasonable looking mesh. We're missing some of the faces. So let's select everything again and go to Face. Let's try. Let's go into Mesh. I've got another technique. Now that we've selected everything, right-click and go to New Edge from Vertices. Yes, that's it. We've got a really beautiful symmetrical mesh for our beautiful symmetrical spoon outline. Okay, so we've figured out a lot of solutions to problems here. Now I'm going to extrude on the Z-axis, and there we have a beautiful 3D spoon. Let's look at it in object mode. This is currently what we've got in object mode. Now I'm just going to give some of you a hint who may have struggled with that final extrusion before this video ends. Let's go back to edit mode. I'm going to undo that. If you have problems extruding, this is what I did before. I went to Mesh, Extrude, and Extrude Manifold. Try that if you're having problems extruding everything, and it should give you a 3D object. Okay, thanks for watching.